find ourselves in. Is religion an asset or a liability? The answer is that it is an asset. Remember, it is an institution that is created by God Himself, and definitely, in His wisdom, in His boundless wisdom, He's given us guidelines on how to navigate at all times before the digital revolution. Now that we have the digital revolution, and God knows what other revolution we are going into. So we need to refer back to them. Why is it that we're having a problem, yet we have all these teachings that are from God Himself? Sometimes we do not draw a distinction between our culture and the teachings of religion. Sometimes they are so intertwined, you cannot distinguish what is culture and what is religion. And I'll give practical examples. I go to the region where a doctor belongs to. I am training some sheikhs on family matters. What is the family matter that I'm training them on? We've discovered, as working as a consultant with UNFPA, many of the women in that region are going for family planning services secretly. And they even leave the cards at the centers. Why? They don't want their husbands to know that they are controlling their bank. Because the belief is that it is against the teachings of Islam. I, as a religious scholar, I come and tell the scholars, the Quran itself, chapter 2, verse 233, talks about child spacing. And the scholars are surprised because they believe God wants us to give birth and multiply, and on the day of judgment, the Prophet, peace be upon him, will be proud of our population. So focus on quantity and not quality, yet the Quran talks about quality. Now listen to what I do with these sheikhs from Mandera. 20 of them, I ask them, do your wives know where you are? Now they tell me no. Why do I have to tell them? Now is that religion or culture? That is culture. Then I tell them, I want each one of you to take your phones out. And I want you to write this message to your wives. I love you. Write in your language. And you can see doctor now, because of the culture, I say, and the sheikhs go ahead and do it. And I tell them, tomorrow, I want to know the response each one of you got from their wives. Listen to the various responses I got. Some of them came very angry. You want to ruin my marriage. I said, why? Because when I went home, my wife accused me of wrong number. This message was not meant for me. Why? Since she got married, she has never received such a money. Now, a message, is that religion or culture? That is culture. Now, the best one amongst them was the one whose wife sympathized with him. My husband, when you likula nini asubuhi, why? It is not normal. Listen to this other example, Professor. I know you're pressed for time. I want to show you how culture sometimes clouds the teachings of God. I ask the scholars, what is the teaching of Islam when you want your wife sexually? The men are very quickly to quote some teaching of Islam. They say, the Holy Prophet has said very clearly, even if she was cooking, awache hiyo chakula you. Yes. Now, I ask the same men who are scholars, religious scholars, suppose Mama Fulani feels it's now. You're watching football, reading your newspapers, he whispers into your ears, I want you now. And the men say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. That means God protect us from the devil. And I ask them, why? Yet, the Quran says very clearly, and remember, your spouses have the same needs that you have. Respond to the needs of your spouses. So what I want to emphasize here is this. Most of what we see and interpret as religion, doctor, this is not religion. It is culture. So, parting shot, director, religion is an asset. Can you embrace, can you take this on board? But we need to train scholars, also religious scholars, to interpret religion for this life, not religion for that life only.